Hey guys, Cam here from PhoneDog.com, and this is the iPhone 6 Plus, the larger of Apple's latest new smartphones. And I've had enough time with the device now to give you my full thoughts on its performance and what it's like to use, but first let's shout out our friends at BestBuyMobile.com because they often supply us with phones to give away on our One Port Bandit giveaway game, where you can spin to win a free handset. They didn't supply us with this one though, and this is the subject of our video today. There's no denying that the iPhone 6 Plus is big. It's 158.1mm long, which means it's one of the longest phablets on the market right now, at least when you compare the 5.5-inch models. It's even longer than the HTC Desire 816, but despite it being longer than most phones on the market, the 6 Plus is comfortable to hold thanks to its ultra-thin profile and rounded edges. It is only 7.1mm thin. Its shape, finish and feel are about as far from the last generation of iPhone while keeping everything that made it an iPhone. The volume buttons on the left-hand edge have changed design somewhat, and the power button has been relocated to an easier to reach part of the phone on the right-hand edge. The glass curves are particularly pleasing on the edges of the display. There's an elegance and perfectionism in hardware design you just don't really get with any other manufacturer. Despite the design being elegant and really nice to look at and actually really nice to hold in your hand, there are a couple of things that I didn't like. I don't like the plastic antenna bands on the back, and I don't like the protruding camera. I can't help but feel that Apple should have kept the glass panels from the iPhone 5S on the top and the bottom to hide the plastic bands like it did in the last generation. I also can't help but feel that if they had made the device a little bit thicker, they didn't need to have that protruding camera. But those are my only two complaints with the design. It is a fantastic looking phone and it feels fantastic in hand. Then we get onto the display, and it's no exaggeration to say that it's easily one of the best displays on the market. It might not be the highest resolution, being a full HD 1080p panel with 401 pixels per inch, but it has fantastic qualities about it. It's really sharp, colours are nice and vibrant and really accurate too, and whites are pure white, as well as close as you can get to pure white. Thanks to the new makeup of the LCD panel and the backlight, they've been able to make it really thin and also give it better viewing angles, better colours, better contrast and better whites. You really have to see it in person to experience it fully, but it is fantastic. Blacks and dark colours are better than they ever have been on any iPhone, which perhaps isn't saying much, but it has brilliant viewing angles and it's great for everything from reading to browsing the web to gaming or watching movies. It performs fantastically well at all those tasks. Now, in years gone by, the camera on the iPhone has always been one of those market-leading performers, at least when you compare it to other regular flagship smartphones. Discounting the Nokia Lumia range with their PureView cameras, the iPhones have generally been the best on the market, even if they haven't had the most number of pixels. And again, Apple's decided to stay with its 8-megapixel sensor, improving its quality rather than improving the number of pixels on the sensor. And they've added phase detection autofocus to the iPhone 6's camera. It's a DSLR type technology, and it essentially means that it focuses easily and quickly to pretty much anything. And it is fast. It takes pictures quickly, and because of its phase detection autofocus coupled with the optical image stabilization, it doesn't seem to matter if you're walking or moving, or if your subject's moving a little bit, you tend to get a lot less blur than what you would on any camera before. And it's not just the sharpness and the focus that makes this camera good, the colours are fantastic too. They really give a sort of vibrancy off that I haven't seen on an iPhone camera before. Colour accuracy is great, sharpness is great, contrast is good, tone is good. It takes fantastic pictures. And the camera's got some great features too. It can record slow motion video at 240 frames per second to give you really nice, smooth slow motion videos. Also has 1080p HD video recorded at 60 frames per second, and that's in addition to the usual time-lapse, panorama and square photo modes. What that means again then is Apple has created a phone with one of the best cameras on the market right now. But the design, display and camera aren't all that make the phone. We need to look at the software too, and here's where it's kind of frustrating and also great. Apple's done a lot of stuff with the software to make it optimized for the 6 Plus's larger display. For the areas of the display that are hard to reach, Apple's implemented a reachability feature. All you need to do is double touch the Touch ID button and it brings the content down to a more manageable level for one-handed use. And if you're just struggling to see the small icons on the screen, there's display zoom, which makes them all bigger. Apps like Messages and Email can be turned landscape and you get a 2-panel display where you get your inbox on the left and your message conversation on the right. And also on your home screen you do get a new horizontal view on the home screen, which we've not had before. There's also extra keys on the keyboard when you're texting. All this stuff is great, but it's not perfect, and that's mostly down to third-party developers. Most of them haven't updated their apps yet to be compatible with the larger screen, so everything just looks like a really big blown up version of the app that was before. But then I can't really complain at Apple for that. This is the third parties that really need to get their software updated. But once they do, the experience is going to be virtually flawless. But the performance of the phone itself has been a sort of tale of two cities. In the initial software, before we updated to 8.0.2, I noticed a lot of stutter. I also noticed a lot of times when the software just wouldn't respond to anything I was doing. It wouldn't respond to my touches on the screen, and that was quite frustrating. Sometimes you'd find apps would get stuck in landscape mode even after turning it back to portrait, but these bugs are being ironed out slowly, and since the most recent software update I haven't had many complaints at all. It's fast, it's fluid, it deals with all the tasks really well, and benchmark performance tests that we've done have shown the iPhone 6 and 6 Plus to be some of the best performing handsets on the market. When you consider that it's powered by a dual-core 1.4 GHz processor, then the performance really does kind of hit home that Apple's done a great job engineering the software to make the best use of the hardware. Perhaps the biggest update for me for the iPhone 6 Plus is the battery life. I have never had an iPhone that can get through an entire day of solid use. When I'm out and about, I generally have to take a battery pack with me because by the time I get to tea time, the battery's dead. With the iPhone 6 Plus, that has not been the case. The battery itself is a 2,915 mAh battery. In my last week to 10 days of testing, I've been able to get 9 hours use out of the phone at least, with every full charge. And that's with about 1.5 days standby. So with my medium usage of the phone, what I find is that I can get through a day and a half to 2 days in between charges. And that's incredible for an iPhone. But once again, it's a situation where you think if Apple had made the phone a bit thicker and put a bigger battery in, it might have even stretched to 2 full days with no sweating. As an overall package then, I think the iPhone 6 Plus is the closest thing to a perfect smartphone that I've used so far. The operating system still has the best selection of apps. It's tightly integrated with the hardware, it performs really well, it's got a fantastic camera, a great display, and it's the perfect size for me. I really like the larger screen phone, so for me the 6 Plus is the better of the two new iPhones, but I know that's not going to be the case for a lot of you. If you want a big device and you like the larger screens, go with the iPhone 6 Plus, otherwise go for the iPhone 6. Because it really is just a shrunken down version of the same device that offers the same performance in most aspects. I've been Cam, I'm at phonedog_Cam on Twitter. You can follow me, ask me any questions on there, or use the comments down below. Has Apple delivered this year? Let me know your thoughts, I've given you mine. I'll see you again soon.